Alright, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue year one with our Arizona Coyotes. We're up here at the trade deadline, and in the last video, we decided that the Arizona Coyotes for year one was not going to be a playoff team. It doesn't look like it's going to happen for us. We have to go on a really good winning streak, and I just don't see that happening, right? So, in the last video, we started to make some trades. We picked up some draft picks. I'll show you just quickly. I'll just get you guys caught up. We made a bunch of trades for draft picks. We didn't really pick up any prospects, right? But going into this year's draft, we have Boston's first round pick. We have our first round pick, which right now is like a top 5 pick. We want to try and, lose a lot of games from now to the end of the season. I'm not going to deliberately scratch players. I want to play the players because I don't want them to get worse. But, yeah, if we can get Connor McDavid this year, that would help out a lot, right? We have 4 second-round picks, and round 2 picks can be 4-star players this year, right? So hopefully we can find some nice players in there. And we have 2 thirds, a fourth, and 2 fifths. So this year for the draft is going to be a good year. But I wanted to have, I wanted to get some draft picks for next year as well. I feel like 2 good years with drafting would be all that we need here with Phoenix, because we already have some younger players that can take this team and, be in that position for like the next 10 years. Ekman Larson is one of them. Gormley, our defensive core. We have some goaltender prospects as well. Domi and Pierlini are already on the team, 4-star potential, right? Here they are. So we already have some younger players in our system. So 2 good years of drafting. I think we draft everything that we need. So that's why I don't want to go on a full-on rebuild, trading away a guy like Mike Smith. I want to hold on to Mike Smith for this year. Next year he'll be 33, and we can decide to move him next year if we want to, right? 34 is when they start to get worse. So we're not going to trade away Mike Smith. We're not going to trade away Keith Yandel. I want to hold on to him. Guys like McCallick, he can go. Stone, he's going to stay. McBain and Gormley, they're all going to stay. And then forwards, age, Shane Doan, he's got to go. David Moss, he's got to go. And, yeah, that's about it. Everyone who's like 29 or younger, I want to hold on to for next year. I don't want to give up on next year automatically. We're still going to hold on to Hansel, Gagne, and Bodker. All right, these guys, they can be trading assets next year or whatever. But for this year, let's just get rid of the guys with 1 year left on their contract, above 30 years or older, all right? So Since we already did some trading for some draft picks, I was thinking that maybe we can go out there now and try to find 1 or maybe even 2 pieces to the puzzle. A center or a right winger or maybe a defenseman, you know what I mean? Because we do have Gormley and Stone, but getting another defenseman wouldn't be a bad idea. There's some players that I have on my list, but before we get into that, I'll let you know that I turned waivers off. In the last video, I wasn't able to make some trades because of the waiver setting that I left on. You guys were saying that was in NHL 14. It's just because I never had waivers on and never saw it. So fair enough. So we've turned waivers off then, because I want the teams to be able to trade, and that includes computer-to-computer trades. I want them to be able to make trades. So we turned the waivers off. All right. So I'm going to go back to the Vancouver Canucks and see if we can snag up that first-round pick for next year. Well, you see that? Their first-round pick for next year has actually gone up in trade value now, so I don't even want to make that trade anymore. I think before it was a lot less, wasn't it? Hang on, let me just go through some teams here, see if it was less. Boston. No, we already have their first. Oh, maybe it was that. I thought it was a lot less, though. Yeah, Chicago's is up there as well. All right. Maybe it's not. Maybe, okay, let me go back to Vancouver then. Hang on, let me just go through a few teams here. Yeah, they look like, it looks like it's right there with it. Hang on, go back to Vancouver now. Vancouver. Maybe my eyes are just playing games on me. Yeah. All right. So it's there. All right. So I wouldn't mind getting their first-round pick next year, because I'm making a calculated guess that the Vancouver Canucks are not going to be a good team in year number 2, right? So if I'm going to make this trade, who was it? It was Dubnyk. Yeah, Dubnyk was going to go. They had too many goalies or something. It was Markstrom or something with the waivers. So I'll send Dubnyk over there. I'll bring back this guy Erickson. There you go. He might turn into something for us. Defenseman. No. McCallick, you can go. All right. How much cap space do they have? 1.3. So let me just get all the players that I know I can trade first of all. Nope. Shane Doan. Yep. There you go. Moss. Yep. There you go. Bodker, Pierlini, Domi, Lesso. All right. Hansel, Gagne, Samuelson. Hold on to all these guys. No point in trading them. All right. So Moss, Doan, McCallick, and Dubnyk for the next year's first. Let's see. Nah, you know what? I don't think I'll be able to get that. That's a lot of trade value for that. I'd have to trade away Shane Doan, but I don't want to trade Shane Doan to the Vancouver Canucks because I want to trade Shane Doan to a team that's doing good. So you know what? We'll pass on that Vancouver first round pick. I wanted to get it, but we can always get another first round pick for next year with a guy like Yandel or Mike Smith, Gagne, Hansel, those guys. We'll wait for next year, right? So a team for Shane Doan to play on. The Anaheim Ducks 75 points, Chicago Blackhawks 76 points, Edmonton Oilers is up there at 71. So maybe trading Shane Doan to Edmonton wouldn't be a bad idea. Colorado as well. So in the West, I can trade Shane Doan to Anaheim, Edmonton, Colorado, Chicago. And in the East, Boston, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. All right. So let's find a team for Shane Doan. I think, you know, the Chicago Blackhawks might have a team here that or might have a player here that I would want to trade for. I did some trading block searches before I started this video. Chicago had a center on their team. I just don't know if they can accept the trade value of Shane Doan. Oh, they can. All right, they can accept it. Now, they don't want Shane Doan, but whatever. I can trade him there anyways. So, what about this center? Teravainen. Let's see this guy. Toivo Teravainen. This guy was drafted 18th overall by Chicago in 2012. So, a former first-round pick. He's a center, which is what we need. We need center players of the future. Face-offs is only 70, but what I like is he's got 4.5 Red Star potential, which means his trade value is kind of low right now. Now, they don't want to give up Teravainen, and they don't want Shane Doan, so I don't think this trade would go through the way it is. But I'd be willing to give up a draft pick for this. I'd give you a 4th and Shane Doan for Teravainen. Will it go through? Yes, it did. On behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. All right, so Shane Doan has been traded to Chicago with the 4th. All right, so Shane Doan, hopefully he can win a Stanley Cup. I traded him to a good team for you guys. And now we picked up a center, hopefully of the future, playmaker. 79 overall already, 20 years old, 2 years left at 4.5 Red Star potential. Okay, for Shane Doan, I think that's a pretty good trade. So now, when it comes to forwards and potential, we have Teravainen, who is 4.5 Red Star potential. No, not Bodker. Pierlini, Domi. All right, so there are our forwards, and now maybe to go after a right wing forward. All right, and right wing forward. Oh, yeah, friggin' Edmonton Oilers. I think we all know exactly who I'm talking about here from the Edmonton Oilers, right wingers. There's two guys, either Jordan Eberle or Nail Yakupov. Now, Nail Yakupov's got some low trade value right now. What's he at again? 3.5 Red Star. I think it's his salary that makes him, yeah, $3.775 million, 1 year left. 4.5 Red Star potential. All right, they don't want to give him up, but Jordan Eberle is a little bit more trade value. So Nail Yakupov, he would be a perfect right wing. All right, so then you have Domi, Pierlini with Teravainen and Yakupov, and then you have the defensive core, and then you have the draft that we have that we can build around this, right? But I want to get the pieces in place, and I think Nail Yakupov could be a good one. Former first overall pick in 2012. What is his stats this year? This year, he's got 12 goals in 63 games played, so still hasn't performed that well. That's not bad. I mean, 41 points. He's on pace for like 50 points. I guess that's not bad for a second liner. But he is a sniper. He's a plus 14 as well. So, if I'm going to get Nail Yakupov, I'll have to give up a Moss. They want him at least. I'll have to give up a McCallick. All right. Yeah, that's Edmonton getting a defenseman right there. I can see that. Yandel, Ekman Larson, Stone, McBain, Gormley. You know what? I think I might want to trade McBain then. Because then if I'm bringing back Yakupov, I'll have Yan 1, 2, Stone, Gormley, and I won't need McBain for the top 6 then next year. Yeah, I could trade away McBain to this team. If we're going to make this trade look realistic, I got to give them some defensemen. I know I can maybe make it go through with Moss and McCallick, but that's not realistic. I got to try and make this realistic here. His trade value is a little bit low. What's his name? Is Nail Yakupov's. All right, so Bodker, Lesio, Hansel, Gagne. Yeah, we'll trade Gagne back. Nah, I'm joking. McInnes, Chipchura. They want a few of these guys as well. McMillan, Klinkhammer. I can give you Klinkhammer if you want. That's too many players anyways. Yeah, that's too many players. All right, so let's see this. Moss, McCallick, and McBain for Yakupov. Let's see who else do they have. I mean, they are in a playoff spot, so I could see why they would want to try. Roman Horak, 4-star potential sniper. You know what? I'll pick him up because the trade value is not there. So I'll pick him up there. And then I'm going to have to get What about a Keithall? Oh, no, it's going to have to be... It's going to have to be a salary cap type of player here. All right, Fast and Scrivens. Damn, 284s. That's why. All right, Scrivens not doing bad. All skaters. Let's see, some salary cap here that I need to bring back. Here we go. Hendricks, Koliakovo, Joensuu. We'll bring in, you know what, we're trading defensemen here, so we'll bring back Carlo Koliakovo. All right, because he could just be a roster player for us this year. So they're getting the upgrade from Koliakovo to either McBain or McCallick. All right, Horak is being upgraded to David Moss, some size for the Edmonton Oilers. All right, and then you nail Yakupov as well. So I'm trying to make this realistic for Edmonton. All right, Moss, McCallick, McBain. Yeah, that makes sense for me. And then I'll get some draft picks in this as well. Give me a third and give me a fourth for next year. All right. So Moss, McCallick, McBain for Yakupov, Horak, Koliakovo, a third and a fourth. Will it go through? No, it's not. All right. So a fourth. Will it go through? No. All right. So how about no draft pick? Just nail Yakupov. Will it go through? All right. So I actually, you know, I was thinking that this would be a little bit too easy. I'm glad that they're not letting this go through. Glad that I have to add a little bit more to that. Because Nail Yakupov, he's still a first overall pick. So we're not going to bring back, what's his name? Horak. We'll just get somebody else in here. There you go. Joensuu. All right. A little bit lower trade value. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that should go through now. Yeah, I'll try to get that third again. All right, will it go through? No. All right, how about a fourth? Will it go through? Wow, Jesus. All right, they do not want to give up Nail Yakupov. They do want some of these players. I might have to add a draft pick. I don't mind that, though. So you know what we'll do? I'll just do it right now. I'll add in a fifth for this year. All right. Will it go through? Yes, there it is. On behalf of the Edmonton Oilers organization, I accept a trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. Welcome, Nail Yakupov to Arizona. Goes from Edmonton to Arizona. Poor guy. All right. So there you go. There's that trade. Now, boom, 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 boom. Chipchura. 2 years left to hold on to Chipchura. Klinkhammer, blah, 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 blah. All you guys. Yeah, it's good for now. All right, and goalies. Dubnyk. We can still trade away Devin Dubnyk. Yes, we can still trade away Dubnyk. All right, you know what? Hang on 1 second. Let me just blow my nose, and I'll actually make sure I don't lose this as well. All right, that's much better. So we still have Dubnyk that we can trade away. Let me just go through all my players here and see who's got some trade value that I can move. Samuelson, Dauphin, Lesio, Gormley, Murphy, McInnes. I'm going to hold on to him. Chipchura's got trade value. McMillan, I'm holding on to you guys. Joensuu, Oland. Yeah, Joensuu, I just traded for him, but I'll hold on to him. 80 overall, whatever. Now, hold on to all these guys. All right, and I will hold on to... Yeah, hold on to all that stuff. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good for the draft. All right, so I still have Devin Dubnyk, so I want to try and move this guy out here, though. I can maybe get like a third-round pick or something for Dubnyk. So let's find a team that wants him. Calgary wants him. They don't want to give up draft picks, though. Buffalo wants him. They don't want to give up draft picks. Anaheim wants him, and they want to give up draft picks. So perfect. So can I get a second out of you? No, I won't get a second there. Can I get a third out of you for next year for Devin Dubnyk? Will that go through? Just a bit low for us. All right, I'll give you a fifth for next year. So I'm trading my fifth to Anaheim to move up to the third and Devin Dubnyk. Will it go through? Yes. All right, there you go. All right, so here's the draft, what it's looking like for this year. 2 firsts, 4 seconds, 2 thirds, and a fifth. All right, so I don't have any fourths, sixths, or sevenths. Normally a team would have 7 draft picks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9, so even though we don't have fourths, sixths, or sevenths, we still have 9 draft picks, 2 more than normal, and we have 6 in the first 2 rounds. All right, so that's where we are looking to draft in the first few rounds this year. And for next year, we don't have any fifths, sixths, or sevenths, but we have a first, a second, 2 thirds, and a fourth. So by next year, I want to get more seconds and maybe even some firsts as well. All right, but that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, we're good. All right, so roster moves. We have just edited the team. Hopefully now we can lose some games here. Byzantine 77, so you're going to stay up here. McKenna, yeah, you can stay in there. Mike Smith is going to play goalie still. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not going to scratch Mike Smith to have a worse season because I don't want him to drop. I want him to keep getting better. Yeah, Andel, Ekman Larson, Stone, Gormley, Koliakovo, and Oland. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I'm also not going to bring up our younger players, whatever. Schlemko, Murphy... No, I'll let them play in the minors. All right, there's no need to bring them up to a losing NHL team. The same thing with Lesio and Samuelson. I'll just let them play good in the what's it called, AHL. Teravainen, you know what, Teravainen, he can play in the NHL for now. He's 79 overall. Yeah, he can play in the NHL. All right. So best lines. Let's see. Nail Yakupov and Teravainen now are on the team. So I'll put them on this second line. Gagne can play with Bodker, Hansel, and Gagne, yeah. All right. Teravainen and Yakupov now. All right. And we have Pierlini and Domi on the left. And we have all of our defensive core. All right. The Ekman, Larson, Stone, Gormley. These three guys. So we have built our team for the future. Gagne, Yakupov, Teravainen. All right, let me just put these guys on the second line. Not the first line. All right, I don't want them to be on the first line just yet. Hansel, yeah, that's fine. Don't have to put Teravainen there. All right, goalies, Mike Smith. All right, and the AHL, the Portland Pirates, Samuelson and Lesio and Murphy. All right, so we're good. So we can simulate ahead here. We don't even have to go into the trade deadline. I have no trading assets to trade away here. And I don't want to just trade for like 5th or 6th or anything like that. So let's just get the season done now. And we can do a whole season wrap-up in this video. It can be a longer video. Alright, so I've already done the OHL a little bit, right? I have a B- for my Canada Scout. So let's just go through. Alright, so there's some 3.5-star players here. McDavid is only 3.5 stars, so it's just because we haven't scouted him enough. All right, look, there's no, the white overall, or the white font is the official font, so we just haven't, there's still some red in there, right? There's some red, there's some yellow, so we haven't done enough scouting in the OHL just yet, but it's time to move on to something else. All right, WHL. We're going to go for forwards here, WHL. Yeah, there's some forwards, all these red guys. All right, so we'll draft, or we'll scout in the WHL, the dub. GM tracker. My GM reputation is 10. Wow. All right, so 280 to get my amateur scout up. So I don't think we'll be able to update that or upgrade that again this year. All right, so let's just get this year done. And let's see if the Arizona Coyotes can have a losing season. All right. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, going back to what I said before, oh, you should just scratch all your good players so that you bomb the season. That's not realistic. You know, you can't have an NHL team scratch their top-tier players just so that they purposely lose. You know, that doesn't fly in sports. You can... You know, you can't come out and say, hey, we're going to try and bomb kind of thing in the NHL. Maybe in other sports, fine, but you can't do it in the NHL. So the players that are still on the team, I want them to try to win, right? If we can make the playoffs, that would be great. But I'm just going to not make any trades, not make any acquisitions to help them. It's all about the players who are just playing. You guys can do it, all right? Don't look for any help. I'll bring up this guy. So if people get injured, I'm not going to bring up our younger players. I'm going to just bring up... this is like the worst players, like the 65 overalls and stuff like that. All right, we're gonna let the AHL team play. You know what? Let me just stop simulation quickly. And there was another win, against the Vancouver Canucks. There you go. There's a loss against Montreal. We're 27-27-4. So I want this team to make the playoffs here. Hopefully they can. No guarantee, but let's just leave some of the better AHL players down there. Maybe they can help out. Connor Murphy's been injured with a sprained ankle, so best lines for the AHL. Got to leave those injuries on, though. All right, there's 2 losses in a row. Good. Get those regulation losses. All right, in front of the cameras, on the microphones, in front of the public, I'm saying, oh, yeah, I hope our team does good. But really, behind closed doors, yeah, these are good games right here. Trying to get that Connor McDavid. If we can get Connor McDavid, man, oof. The future looks bright for the Arizona Coyotes because now you have Connor McDavid, first-line center. You have Toivu Teravainen, who's already 79 overall. That's why I got him, is because he wasn't like 61 with 4.5 Red Star. He's already 79. So he only has to jump up to a second-line center. Because if we can get a first-line center, then boom, 1-2. Pierlini, Domi on the left. Yakupov, 1 on the right. You need to get another right winger. And then you have Gormley, Ekman, Larson, and Stone. And you have Byzantine in the net. So you already have a bunch of... really good players there. Pulled groin from Michael Stone, so best lines. I think that's going to put a forward back. That's okay, though, whatever. All right, Duzerinsky or whatever his name is, he's probably playing on the point right now. But look, even with Mike Smith in the net, we're losing games. Probably win this one. There you go, there's another loss, yeah. Shane Doan is off the team now. All right, hopefully the Chicago Blackhawks. That's the team that we're cheering for now, the Chicago Blackhawks. Shane Doan, probably playing on the third line behind Patrick Kane and Marian Hossa. That friggin' team is going to be stacked. And I like it, too, because they got the new contracts for Kane and Taves, so we don't have to worry about them dropping a free agency in year number 1. It's good. All right, so 29, 39, and 7. We have 47 losses on the year. We're up to 65 points. All right, so 65 points right now. That's good. That's good. I don't want to get above 75. If you can stay below 75... you're going to give yourself a good chance at the top 3 pick. Arizona, Michael Stone. Best lines, that's fine. All right, only a few more games. Come on, stay at 65. There you go, 65 still. Good job. Handful of games left remaining. We'll do a, you know what, the San Jose Sharks were a team. Let's see if they turn it around. Let's take a look at their overalls. Because I want to see, you know, realistic simulation, blah, 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 all that stuff. You're not going to get a perfect year from last year, but I guess San Jose would be a team. You know, I guess they could have an off year. Injuries were on, but yeah, I mean, I think the genuine consensus of the Western Conference this year is that the San Jose Sharks are going to be one of those playoff teams, along with LA Kings, Chicago Blackhawks, teams like that. But you never know. Calgary, again, they're up there, 44, 29, and 6. But remember, they have Jonas Hiller now, so that does make a difference. We're up to 67 points now. Come on, don't get to 70. Don't get to 70. There's 69 points. All right, one more game remaining. We have 69 points. If we can stay at 69, man, I'd say we are up there. We have 50 losses on the year, for God's sakes. All right, let's take a look at the stats here. So Buffalo's got 77. Columbus has got 61, so Columbus, we're ahead of Columbus. Arizona, we got 69, and Winnipeg 74. So if we win this game, we tie Carolina with 71. They may have another game in hand. All right, so the worst we can do is top 3 pick. Or top 4, because then another, yeah, we can still get the top 4. I want to try and get second here, because then with the lottery, the worst pick we can have is top 3. All right, so we need to lose this game or lose in overtime. So let's see, real-time simulation. All right, maybe I should have scratched Mike Smith for this game. The Anaheim Ducks, though, come on now, Arizona. You got to lose this game. First period, oh my God, Sam Gagner, of course. They got John Gibson in the, oh no, right. Jonas Hiller's on Calgary, right, what am I saying? Second period, oh no, it's not looking good. Come on, Arizona. Let in a damn goal. Anaheim, you can score on us. What the hell, Mike Smith? Don't do this to me now. Power play for Anaheim, no. Oh, man, we're going to get, like, the top 4 pick, watch. Yeah, and the last game of the season, at least we go out on home ice in Arizona with a 1-0 win over the Anaheim Ducks. That sucks, though, because I guarantee you we've probably tied Carolina now. All right, guarantee you. So let's take a look at some of these stats here. Carolina, 71 points. We have 71 points. Hopefully we have, I don't know, worse in the standings still. So let's simulate up ahead here. Let's see if the season ends on this day. Nope. Okay, we can still check some of the stats here. Carolina still has 71 points. All right. Simulate ahead here. Come on now. Oh, yeah. All right, so the NHL season is over. Back in October, I told you I was expecting you to get 38 wins. You came up short with only 32, so he's pissed off at me. Scouting assignments. We just did the dub, right? So we'll go back to the QMJHL this time. QMJHL for 6 weeks forwards. There you go. All right, the AHL team doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs either, which sucks. All right, and look at that. To end the year, 3 in a row. God damn it, 6 points right there. So, let me just make sure I don't lose any of this. Hang on. All right, that's much better. So, let's do a whole season wrap-up here. And let's see what teams finished where. Team standings. This should be interesting. All right, so good. So, Carolina, they finished ahead of us. We had more... What is it? Regulation plus overtime wins. That's it. Yeah, they had more regulation plus overtime wins. As our shootout wins, we had more shootout wins than they did. We must have. All right, so that's good news. The Carolina Hurricanes are ahead of us. So the worst possible pick that we can have is the 3rd overall pick this year. We might get the 1st if we win the lottery. We might stay at number 2 if Columbus wins the lottery, right? But if Carolina, Winnipeg, Buffalo, or any other teams above us win the lottery, then we go to number 3. So it's a good spot to be in, all right? It's a fine spot to be in. So let's see who won the Western Conference here. We'll try to see if it's realistic. So the Edmonton Oilers came first. Oh God, here we go. That's not too good for realism right there. Edmonton. All right. Calgary Flames number 2. Chicago number 3. Minnesota number 4. Anaheim number 5. Colorado, Dallas, St. Louis. Los Angeles did make the playoffs. Holy crap. Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right. So we may have had some injuries in this year. But LA not making the playoffs, San Jose, Nashville, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Arizona. So, you know what? Other than Calgary and Edmonton, yes. So, you have 6 out of the 8 teams that were in the playoffs last year make it. It's just the two that ended up, being the what's it called? Oh man, I can't even talk right now. the exception, I suppose, are the top of the list, and they're the two teams that finished at the bottom in last year's real NHL year, Edmonton and Calgary, all right? So that's a little bit shady. And in the Eastern Conference, Montreal, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Ottawa, Rangers, Boston, Washington, and the Islanders. Philadelphia didn't make it in, Detroit didn't make it in, Tampa didn't make it in, Florida, New Jersey, Buffalo, Carolina, and Columbus, all right? So say what you will. I'm not going to try and defend it. Say what you will, all right? Entire league. Let's go back to this. Goals for per game, 2.48. All right, so we did not score enough. Let's see if goal scoring in general is increased. Yeah, you know what? It's not that bad, though, because I remember last year teams could get like 3.05 or 3.08, you know, and there'd be like 3 teams above 3 in the goal scoring. There's 5 teams above 3, and there's 2 really good goal scoring teams with 3.35. So it's not like increased, you know, dramatically. You can still have teams that don't get a lot of goals per game. I mean, we're, 2.48. So, I mean, it can happen still. NHL, hang on. Goals against per game. Yeah, we allowed a lot of goals against per game. 3.01. All right, the 25th in the NHL. Power play percentage, 27th in the NHL. Penalty kill percentage, 18th in the NHL. Home record, 13-24-4. Away record, we were really good on the road compared to at home. It's 19-19-3. And our last 10, 4-6-0. All right. So there are the season stats, player stats of the season. Let's do all this now. All right. So again, I'm gonna point this out to you guys before we even see it. You're gonna notice that point per game players, there's gonna be a lot of point per game players, but usually it's because their team is at the top of the list. So Calgary and Edmonton, watch out for them. They're probably going to have point-per-game players. Martin Hanzal, 61 points in 79 games played. Bodker, 53 in 79 games played. Yakupov, 51. Gagne, 42. Chipchura, 22. So you can see how the games played are like, because people got injured. I kind of like seeing that now. That's cool. Teravainen had 7 points in 19 games played. All right. Defenseman, look at those stats. Yandel with 54 and Ekman Larson with 51. So our defenseman got a lot of assists this year. And goaltenders, Mike Smith, 3.07 goals against average. Yeah, so towards the end of the year, we just stopped playing defense for sure. He's probably pissed off. Forwards. All right, so let's go to the entire NHL now. And let's see who was at the top of the list. So Crosby and Ovechkin. Well, Ovechkin with 54, Crosby, and Stamkos with 50, Tavares with 50. So, you know, say what you want about the team standings. The individual stats for goals, pretty good. Kessel with 48, so he had a really good year. Finally, he's a 40-goal scorer. All right. Assists. Martin St. Louis with 61, Okposo with 59, Patrick Kane with 59, all right, and points, Crosby with 105, Tavares with 101, Okposo with 98, thank you, Tavares. So, yeah, the Islanders had a breakout year with Tavares, but that could happen any year, man. Tavares is that kind of player. He could turn the Islanders around. Stamkos, 97, Kessel, 96. That's a little bit much for Kessel, but, I mean, Kessel has 20, like, he'll go on like a 25-game streak where he's above point per game. Then he'll have 25 games where he only gets, like, 16 points. You know, he's a very streaky player. If he can have a whole season where he produces like he can when he's on his hot streak, he can put up those numbers. So it's not unfathomable to think like that. Landeskog got a great year. All right, blah, 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 blah. All right, defenseman. Let's see this. So Carlson and Subban. Carlson was 78 points. Subban was 68. Letang was 65. All right, so yeah, you can see. And then goaltenders, let's see the best games played. There you go, 2.65. Yeah, so goals against average. There you go. Lundqvist had a good goals against average. So you can have teams with good goaltender stats still. Lundqvist has one, 2.17, 2.26 for Price. All right, maybe not like any 2 or like 1.99 or something like that, like a Tim Thomas when Boston had that 1 year. Fine, but still. Hang on, games played. There you go. Let me go back to save percentage here. Save percentage, yeah, Lundqvist almost had a 93 save percentage. So you can still have good goaltending stats. I think it's because the Rangers have a very good defensive team. Same thing with Montreal Canadiens. You know, good, decent defensive team with, well, actually, Montreal's got some high overall defensemen, yeah. And a really good goaltender. You can have good stats still. Maybe just not any 84 overall goaltenders doing good. All right. So that's that taken care of. Now let's take a look at the progress reports. Let's see how our team grew this year. So Nail Yakupov grew by 14 points. He's up to an 84 overall. Teravainen, remember, he only played 19 games this year, and he grew by 8, up to 80. All right, so that's good. Gormley grew. Stone grew a little bit. That guy played a little bit. Duzinski or whatever his damn name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. All right, all these other guys didn't get any points. Goalies, all right, Mike Smith didn't get any points. AHL, Mark Byzantine got 10 points. He's up to a 77. So you can see how the rookies grow. Here we go. Samuelson got 9. Where's Lesio? Lesio didn't grow at all. All right, so you know what it could be? Lesio is already 78 overall at 3.5 star potential. Maybe he's hit his cap kind of thing. You know, maybe he's only like a high 70, low 80 overall type player. The 3.5 star players are around the 80 overall mark. I've seen some of them get to mid 80s, but yeah, he didn't grow. But he's already 78 overall. You look at a guy like Samuelson, he grew, but he started off the year at 75 and grew to 76. Lesio was 78 and he stayed at 78. So they're still on the same level kind of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe Lesio needed a whole year in the NHL to grow a little bit more, kind of like Teravainen did at 79 overall, right? So it's something to think about. But there you go, boys. There's the year one simulation. So say what you want about the realism of the simulation. At least the individual stats were pretty good. But there are the playoffs. You got Edmonton versus St. Louis, Calgary versus Anaheim, Chicago versus Dallas, Minnesota versus Colorado. And in the East, Montreal versus the Islanders, Toronto versus the Ottawa Senators, Pittsburgh versus Boston, and the Rangers versus Washington. Let me know what you guys think about the offseason, what we should do with the draft picks, and I'll see you in the next one.